Good evening! We're back. We've made it. It's another day. Another week, in fact. It's been a minute. I'm sorry the streams are so irregular now on that topic, but you know. Once a week is okay for now. I think we'll all survive. But yeah, how are you doing, folks? Nice to have you. Good evening, McBiden, Slazak Salt and Agony. Nice to have you here. We have some interesting topics to look at. Should be a good time. Should be fun. We have some discourse to talk about that I got into, which seems to be my special power that I'm constantly arguing with random people 50 times my size. But it was fun, and I think it was interesting. But yeah, we have a bit of a funky new camera angle situation here, and I am peeking a little bit much. There we are. But yeah, we have a funky new camera angle situation where you're up there for a bit. It doesn't really matter much because we might have like 2 more streams here before I leave. I'm not even sure if we'll have 2 more. I think just 1 more at most. I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really pumped. This is the reason why everything is becoming different here, and also in the background, is, as I've said before a couple times, I'm moving away. Finally going back to England, my home country, which is gonna be interesting. I don't really plan on staying there forever. Like, I just want to visit for a while and kind of see how it is. But yeah, it should be a good time. But yeah, holy shit. What's going on? What should we take a look at? Actually, let's hang out for just a moment. But yeah, folks, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a good evening, everybody. Also, yeah, as Salted said, do not forget to like the stream. That's a massive help to me every time you do it. Big, very much appreciated. But yeah, I don't know. Discourse will be interesting to talk about. I don't want to go into it immediately. I want to kind of try and ease into it and go through other shit first. I don't like having one like thing pop up, one little like piece of you know, contention that I then just like constantly have to focus on and rally everything around. You know, like you know, I don't know. I don't want to like. I don't like having the negativity kind of consume me, you know? Like, I don't want it, like, you know? Like, I don't think the discourse is ever even that bad, and I feel like I handle it fine and stuff. But just giving it too much attention makes me kind of sad. I'm not sure what it is. Al sax, very real, very real. I want to learn how to play saxophone. That would be so fucking cool. Just any brass instrument would be so sick. They sound fucking awesome. I think I probably suck at it, kinda. Cause like, the fucking like, there's like, the visual association between like what you're looking at and notes with stuff like piano. It's really easy, and that's why I like piano. Guitar barely has that. Guitar kinda has that. But like on, you know, individual levels where you can kind of look at it and figure it out. A fucking brass instrument is kind of, it's so alien to me. I don't even like understand what's going on there apart from that, you know? Sax is a woodwind instrument? Does that qualify as woodwind? Am I deeply retarded? Wait, okay. This is, saxophones are made of brass. They are part of the woodwind family because they use a single reed. So wait, this qualifies, does this count? Okay, okay, apparently, okay, alright, apparently you're right, Slazak, okay? Apparently you're right. Fuck me for thinking the brass instrument would be a brass instrument, okay? Alright? I'm sorry, it's wood, okay, I've understood my mistakes, okay? I'm sorry, alright? My apologies to the sax community, alright? I'll make up for it. But yeah, one day I'll learn it. I wanna, it's not really something that you can learn when you're living in an apartment, I feel like. Or like with people who aren't gonna tolerate that constantly, so yeah. Okay, let's hop into some news in a moment, because we have some interesting stuff to look at. As I said, this is gonna be probably couple hour stream that we're looking at today. Not too long, not too short, maybe more than a couple hours depending on how I feel later on. But that's currently kind of the forecast we're going for. But yeah, woke Pope. We don't have any woke Pope stories today, I'm afraid. Okay, but yeah, so it turns out, folks, and I know this is gonna shock you, okay, and it shocked me as well. But it turns out that America. In America, there's still a lot of racism, and it turns out that they're even going to the point. Well, we know this, but this is kind of it proven even further that they're trying to kind of hide everything that's happened, right? They're trying to erase their history a little bit, and that's happened even more in this little story here. Take a look at this. So in Texas. I'm pretty sure Texas is one of the states that had quite a few plantations, given that there are a lot of slaves in the South. And in Texas, there was a plantation, right? And there are a lot of plantations that you can still visit in America, and you can kind of go around and learn about shit and whatnot, and kind of figure things out. But they decided. People actually shouldn't figure out what's going on. And so the Texas Historical Commission apparently received complaints about the plantation's gift shop. It's kind of a funny thing to have in a plantation, but yeah, so they had books there, which they apparently considered bad because they were too focused on racism and white supremacy. The books at the plantation were too focused on racism and white supremacy, and they ended up making them remove them out of fear of what lawmakers would do. Apparently, they also tried to get away with pretending that it wasn't actually because of the political inclinations of the book. They tried to pretend like they just had too many books, and that they were just trying to reduce inventory. They claimed, but there were emails that were obtained which kind of fly in the face of that and prove otherwise. So it's a pretty gross situation. It's pretty nasty to see, and when you look at this, all of those statistics that you see about Americans, where you see them talking about how like, I don't know, like fucking 20% of Americans are not aware of this, like, one major horrible historical event. When you see this kind of thing, it all starts to make sense because they are intentionally doing that. They're intentionally trying to dumb down their people, especially these conservative states, so they can have a populace that's going to be much more willing to vote for them. Hi, Gene. How you doing? Nice to have you. But yeah, not a good situation. Pretty fucked up, pretty disgusting, pretty fucking awful. Let's take a look at something that I consider to be something of a W, but wrapped in a bit of an unfortunate shell, you know? My room is so empty. I know. I'm moving out. I'm preparing to move out. It's gonna be crazy. I'm going to a new place. My new place is gonna be so small, dude. I've been so fucking spoiled with having like a medium-sized studio apartment. It is so fucked. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Okay, I got another little story for you here, and this one is kind of a good thing. This is kind of a little, like, yay, you know, little positive moment. But it's regarding an unhappy topic. So, new details. Hold on, sorry. New details emerge as YouTuber Ruby Frank pleads guilty to child abuse, agrees to testify against therapist Jody Hildebrand. So this is the lady from the what was it? The Something Passengers channel, who basically just regularly abused her kids, regularly made them suffer through it on camera as well. And now she's pled guilty to what I believe was 2 felony charges, which you fucking absolutely you love to see. There's some really fucked up stuff in here. For example, the boy told investigators that Jody put the ropes on his ankles and wrists, and that they used cayenne pepper and honey to dress the wounds caused by the ropes, according to a search warrant. So it's fucking bad. It's bad. And they are also. Yeah, they are also Mormons. They are the members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, which is not surprising. Not surprising. Mormonism, interesting cult, interesting group. You know, I fucking love cults. You know how much I look into that shit. I find it so fascinating. I find it so interesting. Just like these massive groups of people who somehow like fall into like the most insane deception. And it's awful. The amount of like abuse that's kind of permitted through that as well is terrible. There's a lot of stuff in Mormonism which just kind of exists because one guy was like, the guy who made it was like, you know what? I think it would be cool if I had some sort of an excuse to do this. Like, I'm sure that's how like every single religion had it happen, but we have it more documented with Mormonism. I need to look into it so I can shit talk it more properly. But Mormonism is one of those more clearly like fucking awful and clear like scam type religions. So that's not great. Not good. You love Mormons, you're surrounded by them every day, it's great. That sounds horrible. Are you from Utah? Are you suck there? I have a friend from Salt Lake City who's told me about a whole bunch of stuff about Mormons, and it sounds like a wild fucking situation, but I really want to go. I'm really interested. I want to go to all these places with all the like these like high concentrations of like kind of insane people. I just find it that there's something so, I don't know, it's just fascinating, really. I don't know, it's kind of terrifying. But it's kind of fascinating. Don't come out, I'm gonna kidnap you. Please don't kidnap me. We can hang out. Don't kidnap me though. But yeah, I wanna go, you know? Yeah, it would be fucking awesome, dude. I wanna do more traveling and talking to random people, you know? I like how Utah's whole thing is Mormonism and vice versa. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Also, aren't Mormons like deathly afraid of like oceans and like rivers and shit? They think it like the water belongs to Satan or something. I don't know what it was. It was strange though. It was very, very, very strange. Okay, let's move on to something else, all right? I'm sorry. I won't keep your little fucking ADHD brains too unstimulated for too long, all right? I'd never do that to you. Let's take a look at a little bit of a goofy, unfortunate story, which I just gotta show you just cause goddamn, that's a fucking crazy headline. Okay, all right. Check this out. Virginia DoorDash driver carjacked at gunpoint. Sorry, wait. Virginia DoorDash driver carjacked at gunpoint by an 11-year-old. There you are. But it's fucking... Imagine the fucking situation. Just trying to, I mean, it's terrible as well. Like, this is, first of all, okay, let's address the reality of it before I make fun of it too much. This is terrible for a few reasons. Not W11-year-old. This is an L for 11-year-olds. 11-year-olds should not be doing carjackings. Please, okay? It's a fucking wild situation. We can read through what happened as well, actually. We can take a look at this. Hold on, let's make this a little bit more, hold on. I've got my editing thingy fixed, so now I can edit the thingy and it won't look all fucked up while I fix it, and you guys can't see that. But now it just looks weird, like I'm just staring away when I'm preparing it. There we are. Okay. Sorry. So a 40-year-old Virginia woman was delivering DoorDash after midnight on November 30th when a child and a teenager carjacked her at an apartment complex in South Richmond. By day, Dion Smith is a nurse in Chesterfield, but she started delivering for DoorDash two years ago to supplement her income to help save up to buy a house. She had just dropped off an order at the apartment complex when she was approached by one of the two kids outside. we love young entrepreneurs. Guys, no, okay? This is not we disavow, okay? Okay, this is 0 out of 10 for both of them. 0 out of 10 for both of them. When she was approached by one of the two kids outside. The little one approached me. I was thinking he was asking for money or something. But little did I know he was pointing a gun at me, asking for my keys. We do not avow. Shut the fuck up, Agony. Working through shock, Smith said she first attempted to de-escalate the situation with the child, who she later found out was 11 years old. I'm just like, I'm sorry. The pain of like having your life threatened by an 11-year-old must be crazy. That's fucked up. That's a fucked up situation. Ah, fuck it, we avow. No! Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Alright, we do not avow. We do not avow. Okay? Stop it. Alright? Stop. Okay? Anyway. When he told me he was going to shoot me, I was like, are you serious? You want to kill somebody at your age? She said. I was asking, where is your mum and why are you out here this time of night? That's very fair, honestly. I feel like if I was being threatened at gunpoint by a child, that would also be my question. Like, are you fucking... Really? What? The second child proceeded to get in Smith's car, which she had left running while she dropped off the order, and yelled at the 11-year-old to get in too, according to Smith. He was telling me to get into the car, but I refused to, and so they got in the car and left. Wait, I thought they failed the carjacking, never mind. They just didn't hurt her, but they successfully carjacked her, okay. Issue a correction on a previous post of mine regarding the carjacking child. Yeah, there is absolutely no situation, under absolutely no circumstances must you ever hand it to a carjacking 11-year-old, okay? Alright, that is not allowed. We do not tolerate that in the Karl Marx family, okay? In the Karl Marx household. Alright? We will we do not do that. We do not do that. An hour she called the police an hour later and learned her car had crashed. No way. Wait, are you fucking telling me those 11 and 10-year-old couldn't actually drive the car well? That's crazy. The suspects fled the scene in the victim's vehicle, which was later located in Enrico County, crashed in a rural area. A Richmond police spokesperson wrote an email about the crime. The two juvenile suspects inside the vehicle at the time of the crash were transported to local hospitals. They were released without any significant injuries and charged with robbery. Smith said she was thankful she survived the ordeal and made it back home safely to be with her 10-year-old daughter. Oh, that's fucked up, dude. She's got a 10-year-old daughter as well. That's fucking crazy. Dude, fucking getting your shit fucking robbed by someone who's the same age as your child. That's brutal. See, this is why guns should be illegal, because that's fucking embarrassing, right? Like, that couldn't work. You can't... See, if a child has a fucking knife, you can kind of just, like, kick them, you know? You got range. A gun? What are you gonna do against a gun? It's fucked up, you know? It's terrible. Just pray and ask God to protect at all costs just to keep life, because a car can be replaced, but you cannot be. Yeah, to say the least. The loss of her car has hindered Smith's ability to work her regular shifts as a home healthcare nurse. Also, maybe the trauma of being carjacked by 2 fucking children? Send this lady to 1 billion years of therapy first, maybe, you know? Like, that's fucking wild. That's fucked up. Like, immediately having to go back to helping out and doing her job. And also, fucking being a nurse, home healthcare nurse, that's like long fucking work hours and shit. That sucks, especially if you got like a kid, you know? Like I almost did that kind of shit, like hospitality stuff of I don't know, sorry, I don't know, that's like, I'm pretty sure like the German term for it correctly, I'm not sure if that's the English one, but basically just like a live-in caretaker. And I tried out for some jobs like that, and I nearly got one where I would have been working like 12-hour shifts to take care of like some like disabled person or elderly person or something. And doing that as like a mother of a child is fucked up. But yeah. Not good. Not good. Child, thank you. Thank you, McBidens. Let's go. That's real. Wait, where's my clapping? I don't know why I'm clapping when I have a... Here we are. Let's go. Thank you, McBidens. That's the correct take. Okay, please. L child, okay, it's not a good child, not a good situation. We do not approve. Alright? That's a big thumbs down for me. Massive L couldn't even do it right. SMH my head. Okay, alright, okay. I was just being nice to you, but I see how it is. But yeah, that's a fucking crazy situation, dude. Fucking getting carjacked by like someone who could be like your kid's fucking classmate. You were the child Slavak! I fucking knew it. I knew it. No, he was here the whole time. Fuck. No, that's a new sound, by the way. We got a new funny sound. But yeah, no, but it's fucking crazy. Awful. At least they got charged and stuff, and hopefully they're gonna learn their lesson and they won't do any more carjackings. Not, I don't really know how they expected it to go, really, you know? Like, I feel like when you're a kid, you can get away with more crime than when you're an adult, right? Like, if you're gonna do stupid shit that's illegal, do it as a child, by all means. Especially if you're gonna face reduced penalty for it, which you will in most countries, but obviously it's not guaranteed in some places. Like in America, you can be prosecuted as an adult even when you're a child, right? But don't do that. Don't do carjackings. Do cool, fun, nice crimes where you don't fully fucking traumatize someone. Do nice crimes which have like either very, very privileged victims who really had it coming, or very, very privileged victims who you're not gonna scare that directly and fuck up that much. But like, you know, be like, you know, measure your shit out. Why are you fucking carjacking some random nurse lady, you know? I don't know, like scamming people is much easier. Do scam old people or something, hypothetically, but why are you doing this, you know? I'm sorry, what are you saying sorry for? I'm scared. What did I say? What are you referencing? Or did you say something else? Karl Marx is literally endorsing eating the rich as long as you're a kid. Real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Correct. Absolutely. That's the one. That's what I meant. Okay, let's go to another one. I've got another little wacky story for you folks, and this is this is kind of a wild one. And this is both a story which is both significantly American and, while at the same time significantly anti-American. Your message didn't send. Oh no! What did he say that the filter's got it? I'm scared. You can try again. If that doesn't work, send it to me on Discord and I'll read it out. But yeah, okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is both a very confusing. There we are. We have both the sad American music and the happy American music, because this is a really confusing story. Okay? Alright, take a look at this. Wait, this sounds too awful. Okay. But take a look at this, okay? Men in America have been accused of killing, wait for this, 3,600 birds. 3,600 fucking hundred. Yeah. My bad. Chatters, stop it. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep being the people in the news story who did the bad thing. I said do the car thing if you can successfully. I'm sorry. Do not do the car thing if you can successfully. That is bad. Look, if you're gonna steal someone's car, try and figure out a way to steal it from them when they're not in there, okay? Do it nicely, at least. If you really have to, okay? If you really have to steal a car, be nice about it, you know? Like, try your very best. High score? Oh god, thanks. Yeah, real. This guy really went for it. Good show, fucking hitting the leaderboards. But yeah, good evening, High Progressive. How you doing? Nice to have you. Also, hi, Naomi. Also, hello everybody else, but I haven't seen you folks in a little minute. All birds are government drones, so technically there was no killing. This is very true. This is what this one guy understood. Gang's all here. We're all here, folks. This is like I got all my favorite mutuals in here. This is great. I'm trying to beat Super Macho Man and Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I want to try Punch Out. I saw a fucking stupidly long video essay about speedrunning Punch Out. I think it was one of those situations where you get sucked into a video that's far too long and far too far away from what you're actually interested in and have been doing, but you get sucked into it anyway. Crazy, but looks fun. Like domestic terrorism. Look, domestic terrorism. I'm not gonna share my opinions on. We're not gonna look. No. Oh, the summoning salt video is amazing. That might be it. Yeah, that might be it. Summoning salt has a bunch of good videos. I think that's likely. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I found it fascinating. Okay, let's take a look at, we have 2 more stories to take a look at, and then we're gonna hit on some other topics. Punch Out is like the best Nintendo game if you look past the racism. Oh, yeah. When is that game from? That game is like, ooh, it's gotta be, what, 80s, 90s, right? That's what it is? I mean, that makes sense, right? What's the, like, mechanism, even? I don't understand. Is it just you move around? I guess you just move and you punch, I guess. I'm a genius, I figured it out. Hey guys, I think in the punching game, you might have to punch occasionally. Okay. 1987. Okay, that would have been my guess. I would have placed it right about there. Okay. Okay, this is one I just threw in there because I thought I thought it would look funny in the thumbnail if I wrote for free over Minnie Mouse. But here we are. This is about Mickey Mouse. Actually, I don't know why I wrote Minnie Mouse when it's about Mickey as well. But Mickey Mouse is entering the public domain, which is fucking kind of funny and kind of awful. So this is, when things enter the public domain, it is very bittersweet, okay? Good evening, Logan. Nice to have you. Look at everyone here tonight. I'm chuffed you're all here. Thank you. Oh my god, wait. Okay, so when things enter the public domain, it's very bittersweet, right? Because we have this awful combination of people who aren't actually interested in the art and in the subject and in the actual like character itself, and they have their own wonderful ideas that they want to make, and they're chuffed they can finally have them in public fucking hands. Which is like maybe like 5% of the population, and then you have the other 95% of the population which just sees it and gets the big money eyes. Okay, what's gonna be public domain? A Mickey Mouse. With several asterisks, qualifications, and caveats, Mickey Mouse in its earliest form will be the leader of the band of characters, films, and books that will become public domain as the year turns 2024. Yeah, so this is the Steamboat Willie version initially, and then as we go on, the next following versions of Mickey Mouse will become public domain, which will be interesting. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of such a huge character who's got so much cultural symbolism to not exist under like the legal thumb of exclusively just Disney. You know, I feel like at some point you have these like figures in culture who become so pervasive and so essential that I think having kind of like having ownership and acting like they need to claim ownership over it when it's fucking Disney as well. I don't know. So I'm pretty chuffed about this becoming public domain. I think it's pretty interesting. Sadly, they could never release it on the Switch because the over-the-top stereotypes are the best thing about the game. Slazak. Is this the little subtle, questionable French opinions seeping in there? What's going on here? What's going on here, mister? Can't wait for all the Mickey Mouse horror games that will be the next Garten of Banban. Okay. David, stream makes the game funny. Play the game first. Okay, all right, I will. I'm trying to get a bunch of emulators on my computer. I have. Take a look at this. Hold on. I have my dad. Though we have a fairly tattered relationship to one another. One of the things he gave me, which I've always appreciated, was he took my old PlayStation Vita, which is very dusty now, and he modified it, and he put on a bunch of fucking emulators on it and loaded a shit ton of games onto it. So now I just have a bunch of fucking old games and like PSP stuff and that kind of thing on there, which is really cool. So maybe I'll see if I can play it on next. There might be a fucking NES emulator on there. It's very cool, McBinds. Yeah, it's one of the things I'm very chuffed about, which he actually did. So that's good. Small Dad W. Very, very, very rare, mind you. Yeah, you know. To be fair, the French guy is the most negatively depicted of the characters. Okay, all right. That's kind of based. All right. I've toned down my my shit talking with the French because I do fear there is some genuine discomfort to be had for people who might feel excluded if I do that. But an occasional joke might have to slip in there, okay? Just an occasional one, right? Just as a treat, okay? As a treat, little tiny treat. I know the French are used to it, you know, y'all can take it, but I also think it is kind of annoying how people I feel like people kind of overdo it a little bit much when they feel like they have the right to like shit talk a group, you know? I don't know. It gets a little bit iffy on occasion, you know? The French guy doesn't even have a lot of French stereotypes. He's just the weakest character of the three games. Well, that's all the cigarettes. You can famously beat him in one punch. Ah, yes, okay. So true, I had to tone down the Anglophobia. I mean, no, like, there is some truth to it. Obviously, what I'm saying is influenced by the fact that I am British, and I get mildly annoyed at how people talk about British stuff online sometimes, because I feel like people do reach a point of genuine reductivism as a way to try and kind of virtue signal how much they hate bad things and how much they like the good thing instead. And, you know, you thought I was German? I am German. I'm half German, I'm half English. My mum is German, my dad is English. I lived in England for 8 years. I moved to Germany, and now I've lived in Germany for fucking 12 years, and then I'm going to move back to England. Where do I vote? I vote I vote in Germany for the SPD. Is who I vote for. That's the party who most aligns with me, but I'm not happy with the current situation either, okay? But generally, yeah. But they're all eating shit as well, so. Okay, nice, very good. Oh, I don't know how I feel like you gave me validation on that. Glad I'm not a Die Linke voter. No, I don't like Die Linke. No, I know I'm very woke, but Die Linke I don't like. I don't like the everyone in Die Linke reminds me of the worst people I've met on the internet. in terms of like ridiculous lefties. I don't like how Die Linke conducts itself in parliament in terms of being like voting against every single thing that's not 110% in their favor. I don't know. Die Linke just seems kind of childish to me, and they exemplify kind of the very like the somewhat annoyingly stubborn left, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'd rather just go with the SPD and just like have the little bit of power, a little bit of positive change, or the lot of power, a little bit of positive change than the no power, no change, which the Die Linke seems to affect. Yeah, that's my take. That's how I've always kind of felt about it. Okay, let's see. Is there one more thing? I think there is one more thing going on here, which will be kind of interesting. But in other words, Die Linke are just the average internet leftcom. Yeah, I mean, it varies within the party. Like, you have a mix between, you know, anarchists and Stalin. You have, like, the full spectrum. I'm sure you also have some reasonable people in there who are more aligned with my sort of politics as well. I just don't think that they're functional. I just don't think they're effective either, you know? I think this is my issue with the left in a lot of ways, that people are so just unwaveringly stubborn, you know? I don't know how else to put it. I get it. I kind of respect it on occasion, but there's a time and a place for it, and the time isn't constantly, which seems to be how the Die Linke seems to feel. But yeah, that's just my that's my German politics opinion. But yeah, I voted just a couple times. Actually no, sorry, just once now. But yeah, we do have a story, but I'm not sure if I've read through this well enough to read through it with you. So I don't wanna be unprepared too much. Sorry, I'm stimming on the mic. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so, here we are. Let's take a look at this. We have one last story to get through before we go into our next section, which will be talking about the recent drama I had with Mrs. Jenny Tight Pants, a lady on the internet with a lot of pull and not a lot of... I don't want to be mean, but we'll talk about it. I still don't get how do the Germans have horrible political parties? Well, I mean, there's a few reasons. Like, the legacy ones are very old. The SPD is like a fucking ancient party, so it's shifted and formed over time. So a lot of people are very angry the SPD isn't like how it was like 100 years ago, that they've softened up on some areas in order to fucking like try and make compromise in order to enact policy. There's been a lot of like, you know, there is just a lot of compromise sometimes, especially when you have fucking a multi-party system. You just kind of have to a lot of the time, because a lot of the time the only way to get into government is to have a coalition government, and so therefore it ends up being very slow and people get very annoyed, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, every party, even if you do have like a multi-party democracy, is still going to struggle from the same issues that you will under any other like representative system, and that every politician's going to kind of like flatten out their desires in order to try and be broadly appealing and not too scary, and that's just kind of how it's doomed to be every time. The SPD literally predates Germany, yeah. I could have talked about the Pope going woke. I'm sorry, and I ratioed her a fair few times hyper-aggressive. It was fantastic. I can't wait to talk about it. We'll get into it in a moment. I do experience a very decent amount of schadenfreude ratioing people though. Okay, let's take a look at this and then we'll hop into the Twitter section. All right, folks. Here we are. So prisoners are suing Alabama over forced labor. Hi 80 Days, how you doing? Calling it a form of slavery. They are finally hitting back, which is very interesting. First off, because as we all know, I believe it's the, if I'm remembering correctly, it must be the 13th Amendment. Was it the 13th Amendment, which is the one that abolishes slavery? Was that the one? Here we are. Yes, it is. That's right. So the 13th Amendment in the U.S. Constitution is the abolition of slavery, and neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime, wherever the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States. So no slavery unless you know maybe just you can have just a tiny bit. Okay. It's a treat, okay? It's a treat. It's not happening all the time. It's just, when they do something really bad, okay? Then we do it. We just do a tiny bit of slavery, okay? Just a teensy tiny. Yeah. Oopsie daisy. That's not the right thing. I don't know. Oopsie. Oh my god! I'm revealing all my secrets here. I'm revealing all my secrets. What's going on? This is awful. What did I show you? Oh, I showed you a book from something about Pablo Picasso. Okay, awesome. What was I looking at? Here we are. There we are. I found it again. Okay. But yeah, so a bunch of Alabama citizens are finally suing Alabama due to what's happened. Karl Marx, that caveat being there led to a lot of black people being arrested after slavery once the 13th got implemented. Yeah, I mean, that was basically like the intentional replacement, and that's been continuing to fucking pervade itself until today, basically. I mean, we see that pretty much all over, with black people being arrested at way higher rates for the same crimes that white people commit at the same rates. The fucking prison times in America are absurd. The way that the prison system is structured in order to basically be a fucking business for the people who own the prisons is absolutely insane. And all of these things just kind of lead back into it being very, very, very beneficial for the rich and evil to keep on kind of permitting this and keep on allowing it to happen. So here we are. A group of current and former Alabama prisoners are alleging that the state's prison labor practices amount to a modern-day form of slavery, according to a complaint that got filed in federal court this week. The plaintiffs include 10 men and women who worked during their time in Alabama's prisons and say that they were trapped in a system in which incarcerated people are forced to work, often for little or no money, for the benefit of the numerous government entities and private businesses. Those 10 people are all black. A fact that they emphasize underscores the disproportionate number of black people held in the state's prisons. Their lawsuit also alleges that the conditions in the state's prison system itself are inhumane and render any work there inherently coercive. In 2020, the Department of Justice sued the state for failing to provide prisoners with safe and sanitary conditions. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey and Attorney General Steve Marshall are among the public officials being sued, along with leaders of the state's Department of Corrections and Transportation and its Board of Pardons and Paroles. Several private employers named in the lawsuit are the franchises of well-known companies: McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and KFC, where prisoners have worked as part of a work release program. Shit. That's fucking weird. So, next time you go, and you Americans in my audience, next time you go and you get fast food from any one of these places, and probably more, be mindful. It could be made with slave labor. Shit. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. You'd expect them to keep this kind of thing, I feel like, or at least this is how I'd expect it. You'd expect them to keep this kind of thing where they're obviously so shamelessly, brutally exploiting these people, just brutally, right? Like you think about, you think about like what you I mean, the various stories we've heard, like, from prisons, talking about people who've been found with, like, roaches all over them and holes in their skin after being, like, dead for 4 years on a 4 days on a cell floor and with, like, nobody checking on them. Like, the situation is fucking awful and evil, but you'd expect them to keep it away from public eye. I would be surprised that they'd, like, let prisoners out and to go and work in that kind of situation. Interesting. Yeah, in 2023 alone, the economic benefit of prison labor in Alabama was more than $450 million. That's fucking crazy. Do I know when Mississippi ratified the 13th Amendment? I do not. I have no idea. You tell me. Liv, never expect anything from... oh, wait, you're saying... Sorry, you're just saying the comics life part. Never expect anything from the Alabama government. Yeah, no. I shouldn't. But this is... I mean, this is something that is also legal in other states, right? Like, this is... this is still something that can occur elsewhere, and I believe still does. Doesn't... I mean, plenty of progressive states also have this, right? I believe I heard about this in... Yeah, here we are. I mean, oh, wait, never mind, I don't know. Wait, let's see. I don't know. But it seems to be pretty widespread. Yeah, it's like legal in California, for example, as well, right? Like, to act as if it's, here we are. California is one of the 16 states that allows forced labor, but a constitutional amendment seeks to change that. And this is from May 12, 2023. I don't know, maybe this has gone through. I think we would have probably heard about it though. But it is widespread. Let's not just treat it as an Alabama conservative insane states issue. This is just kind of an America problem, really. But yeah, it's kind of a wild situation. All right, folks, we have made it. All right, that's why I call a certified W. All right, we've made it. Okay, and now we're gonna get into some drama. Okay, and I don't know if you folks are here for that. All right, because I know I do a lot of arguing on the internet. Okay, it's been known to happen. Okay, me having opinions and having opposing opinions to other people and trying to argue with them, never happen. Never, ever. But on this one rare occasion, okay, I was feeling a little strange, a little funky, and I decided I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have some drama. Well, that wasn't really my intention, but I made a tweet here. Okay, I made a tweet, and it's a tweet that ended up ruffling perhaps one, perhaps even two feathers. Okay, it's a pretty intense situation here. Let me pull this up. Let me just make it look all nice for you. Now, see, now it's really scary because I could just be staring you down. I've been trying to get myself used to like staring at the webcam so I can make my points more effective and intimidating. But I don't know. Does it work? Subscribe to me. Like the stream. Okay, I feel scared. I'm sorry. I feel scared too. Okay, it's alright. I'll leave it. Okay, anyway, let's hop into it. Okay, we have a little discourse to hop into, a little thing. Is this arguing online thing a new development? Oh yeah, it's never happened to me before. What, me doing that? Me arguing with somebody on the interwebs? On the internet? On the little silly space? No, of course not. Okay, so, all right, folks, I can finally hit you with it. Okay, I got it all prepared. Let's take a look at this. So, Mrs. Jenny Tightpants made a tweet on September 17th, December 17th, 2023, talking about, referencing some previous tweets she made, talking about how, she would not want to vote for either Joe Biden or Donald Trump in the upcoming election. She used the meme of the silly, funny neckbeard dude, which has been floating around. Leave me alone, Naomi. Okay, I'm trying my best. But she used the picture of the neckbeard fellow that's been floating around to try and be like,
Actually, I don't have to vote for either of these people because I'm better than that.
And she got a lot of kickback for it, a lot of pushback. And so therefore she made this tweet trying to mitigate it a little bit. And she said, I want to make it clear that my posts on Twitter about the 2024 election are not made with any intention in mind to actually affect the outcome of the election. Trying to affect the election through Twitter is stupid and doesn't work. Posting isn't activism. And I saw this tweet and I was like, wow, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's real. I don't think that's accurate. No. And so I took a look and I typed this out. I said, I think this kind of take is pretty stupid. You have a massive platform. And to remind you, okay, all right, Jenny Tightpants, she's not any Twitter poster. Okay, she's not just a random small tiny innocent account. No. Jenny Tightpants has over 100,000 followers, including dozens of people related to politics. I'm sure there are people who are in politics. I know there are tons of political advocates who follow her. Especially as she's a big trans account who's spoken about trans issues, a lot of political advocates want to kind of broaden their horizons and try and gain an understanding of that kind of thing and intersectional problems, and therefore end up following someone like Jenny who talks both politics and shitposts and also trans stuff occasionally, and gives kind of a, healthy mix for someone to educate themselves on. But yeah, so there are lots of people in Jenny's following who could benefit from her being reasonable. She said, and I responded to her saying, you can probably influence more people than most orgs can. Most orgs I've seen seem to be very small and not really doing that well because it costs a lot of money to actually like do shit and like a lot of time that especially people who are like working class might not necessarily have a ton of. People on the internet need to stop relieving themselves of responsibility for having stupid takes by acting like their actions are inconsequential. And this isn't something that we just see with Jenny Tightpants, by the way. It's something that we see a lot. And one of the main perpetrators of it, who I think is absolutely horrendous and needs to be shit on for it, is Mr. Hassan Piker. He does this regularly. He'll regularly be like, come on, I'm just a guy. I'm just on the internet. I'm just kind of doing my thing. I'm just a silly oaf in front of a camera, and I just talk. And I also have a degree in politics, but I'm not gonna mention that. Like, it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And Jenny is someone who's regularly made political posts. She's regularly talked about political discourse. She clearly has her opinions and beliefs. And yet she's doing this. Let's see. What have you folks said? I saw that the most annoying anti-electoralists have caught onto that meme. Yeah, no, it's really fucking annoying. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like my rejection of it was kind of a good move. The ponytail man would be like, you can have both, and then Biden would just run with Trump as his vice president. That is the American dream, okay? We need an America in which two presidents can be kind of gay with each other and have a little romantic presidential relationship, okay? They need to do that. That's the only way for the country to finally heal. Jenny Tightpants has me blocked, so fuck her. I kind of relate to that. There are these like occasional accounts who I see my mutuals reply to very regularly, and sometimes they'll just have me blocked for no reason that I can understand. Like they seem to not have opposing opinions or anything, and it just like makes me wonder, like, what has this person heard about me? What do they think? What's going on there? I don't know. It's a little spooky. Having a large public platform while sharing your political opinion online is absolutely something that has an effect. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's why I do this, right? Like, I know that, like, now my effect is, like, minimal, right? My effect is talking to a small room of people, a very small room. Like, we're all trapped in a closet together, and I'm talking at you, okay? And that's, like, the extent of it. But I still think that's valuable. You know, I think that's fucking worth it. And that's why I do it. On Twitter, I have way more reach. I can do much more than what I can with streaming. I can have my opinions and I can express it in a way that I think is compelling and convincing. And then I say it, and I hope that people will listen to me. And often they do. Because it's not that hard. It's not that crazy. Jenny has this conception. Jenny has this conception that the internet is somehow another thing. We have regular human communication. We have conversations. We have talks. We have advocacy, and then we have the internet, and that's disconnected from the rest of society and you know, culture. And that might be just the most downright dumbass, stupid, silly, godforsaken reading of how the world works and how the world is going to continue working in the future, right? The only reason the internet doesn't totally dominate life at this point, which I would say, some people might say it would, but I'd say we're not quite there yet, is because we don't have the older generations having grown up with it. When we're in 50, 60 fucking years, the internet is everything, okay? And I would say when the internet isn't everything yet, but we're like, I don't know, we're like halfway there, right? Like, how many things how well would you survive in life if you didn't actually have the internet? How many crucial things would be missing if you didn't have it? Everyone, especially fucking in privileged, relatively wealthy countries, fucking uses the internet, and we need it, and everyone uses it, and there's no escape. There's no fucking escape. Okay? And so people make the most of it. They're going to go onto social media. They're going to go onto different platforms. They're going to find people to talk to, and they're going to listen to them. They're going to figure out their opinions, and they're going to learn and think, and develop, and have conversations and discussions. And they're going to see Jenny Tightpants tweet about not voting, and they might be influenced by it, and she's just too dumb to get why that might be bad. And it's just, it pisses me off. It's just, it's not great. It's not great. So, I'll read what you folks have said, and then we'll keep on going into it. Twitter is the opposite of being in a closet for me. No, I get you. Closet is the stream. Twitter is more like being in a big mall where we kind of shout things and we hope that people laugh at them. That's kind of what Twitter feels like, right? Twitter's being like in an empty classroom where the teacher just left for a bit, and you're trying to see what little thing you can get away with to make the class giggle a little bit. You know, that's to me what Twitter is, you know, but the streams so far, they're more of a closet, you know? Yeah. Right? Meanwhile, I'm aware that with my 10k followers, I'm extremely important and will make Joe Biden elected single-handedly. Well, but like, obviously not to that degree, but you with 10,000 followers, that's a huge fucking number. Right? People don't fucking grasp this. People don't seem to think about this, that 10,000 is a huge number. And not only that, but you're going to have way more fucking views on a bunch of your tweets that aren't necessarily just reaching your followers. And you can have huge influence. I just, this notion that people can't is so absurd. I also think that there's something to be said about how parasocial relationships and the kind of the presentation of inofficiality can make something more trustworthy in some cases. Like we have with social media, a lot of it kind of we have a lot of parasociality, right? I'll kind of just say it, all right? I'll put it out there. Parasociality. It's very, very, very fucking prevalent on the internet because you have someone and you hear their opinions all day. You know, you know what they think about things. You know what kind of jokes they make, and they don't know a thing about you. Right? They don't know a thing about you, but that's fine because that's how the internet works. And obviously, if you see something from this person who you admire, you find them funny, you might be a little attracted to them even. You might find them a little bit cute. You might have a little bit of a fucking parasocial crush on this person, right? And you're very, and so by all these things, you're very, very likely to hear them out and listen to them and think twice when you hear something which they say which you might disagree with. And yet, despite all of this, I guess Mrs. Jenny Tight Pants she just can't conceptualize it. She just can't imagine that being a thing. I guess she's just never been influenced by someone on the internet. But I don't know. I think she's coping, really, if I'm honest. But like, taking her arguments at face value, that's what we get. If small and mid-scale posting didn't influence elections on a major level, the Cambridge Analytica scandal wouldn't have happened. What was that about, Logan? Do tell. I have no fucking clue what that's about. Yeah. It was a gay joke. Karl Max Switch isn't Narnia, which is the opposite of being in a closet. Oh, okay, I see. I understand. I'm sorry. Imagine in a room with Bosch and Keffels and Jared Polis. Oh no. I would kill myself, hypothetically. They know everything about me. I post so many things from my name IRL to my genital size. Yeah, I've been thinking about it as well. I am, you folks have seen me, all right? You've seen me, you've seen some of my posts. You've seen me flirting sometimes. You see me push it a little bit, you know? You know things about me that like, maybe I wouldn't like go out and like tell a stranger. You know, it's so odd. I think about that a lot as well, though, Slazak. Like having high-profile followers who, you know, are like these huge people who have huge degrees of influence. And they're gonna be scrolling their fucking Twitter timeline, looking for something interesting, and then they're just gonna stop. And they're gonna stare at a tweet of fucking, like, from fucking Slazak being like, ah, yes, my schlong, and right beneath it, and then they keep scrolling a bit further, and then it's just fucking Karl Max just like waiting for gay sex day 322. Like, it's wild. It's kind of awesome though. It's kind of awesome, but it's kind of crazy. I made this point before, but the entirety of Gamergate basically proves that online figures can have massive influence on real life politics. Absolutely. No, really, it's hugely important because the common consensus and the commonly accepted thing was just that like it was just that like people should be conservative and people should be like anti-SJW and that kind of thing, and that made a bunch of people very right wing because that was the norm. You know, see, this is the interesting thing about advocacy in some ways, right? Is that you don't necessarily have to be preaching something specific. It doesn't have to be hyper specific. It's about following certain principles sometimes, right? Like maybe you wouldn't call these people necessarily advocates, but let's say role models of sorts, right? So if you have people actually, you know, fucking showing like vaguely, just even vaguely, like mindful principles and values, you know, being conscious, being gentle, that kind of thing, you are going to like inherently bring people over slightly leftward just by doing these right things. And you have a responsibility to do so. If you think that you're a good person and you like and you want to talk politics and you have a responsibility to try and do it as best as you can. You need to do it right. You need to try your fucking best. Like I have no sympathy for people who are preaching politics and then also like immediately throw in the towel as soon as shit gets tough and they fucked up and they have to take responsibility for it. You know, that's part of it. It's part of the fucking game, right? You have to just fucking take that with you. You know, everyone's human. It's just a stupid fucking thing. It's just a stupid thing. I have a parasocial crush on my alt. That's kind of real. It's kind of real. I'm gonna give you a ding for that one. Good job. I made this point. Oh wait, I fucking read that. I'm retarded. The Rohingya genocide and associated pogroms were largely stoked up by Facebook posts from militant Buddhists. Oh yeah. I read about that. Yeah, no, it's fucked up. And that was like made widely acceptable through fucking Facebook, like through that kind of shit just pervading. It's insane when people act like it's not a thing. And I've been looking at a lot of stuff pertaining to radical terrorists recently. Because I'm you know, I like my extremists, right? I'm very interested in all like the most fucked like sectors of society. And if you look at like fucking like FBI documents and you look at various stuff government documents talking about the factors that go into radicalization, fucking social media is a huge, I can't even I cannot emphasize how huge it is. It ranges from being, I believe it was like genuinely, it was like 65% saying it like somewhat influenced them, and like 20, I don't know, 24 or something who said that it was like the internet was their main influence for being radicalized, you know? And that's fucking insane. So we need effective left-wing advocacy, right? We need like effective options, and we need people to try, and we need people to especially not be like Mrs. Jenny Tightpants. Let's scroll through just the tweets, and we can kind of get a little a little understanding of how exactly it went down, just so we can make sure that we're not missing out on anything that this lady said. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm let me pull up the right conversation thread, because we branched off. You know how it goes on Twitter. You know how it goes on Twitter. It's fucking crazy. It would be it's kind of nice how in real life, if the conversation branches off, you just kind of go there. But on Twitter, if the conversation branches off, you can have 50 different tweets in different areas, which you have to like fucking like mentally figure out and connect together so you don't like say something retarded, you know? Okay. Oh, Mia Matic is in the Jenny Tightpants reply is just tearing shit up as well. We love to see it. We love to see it. Okay, let me find the let me find the end of our little argument thread so I can just show you. Okay, here we are. I think I got it. Okay. She's doing better than I did. You did fine. You did fine, McBites. You tried your best. Look, I think you do really well, McBites. All things considered, you do really well. You know, yeah, just, you know, be careful. Don't go in too hard if you're not 1000% sure you're gonna be right. That's all I would say. But you know, be reasonable, be kind. Also, yeah. Okay, let's take a look through the tweets so we could just get a lay of the land here, because I want to talk about this, and I think it's worth talking about, and we can just kind of re-litigate some interesting points I made. So on Twitter, she made this tweet saying, talking about what I said, saying, some people on here need to realize that just because I have a lot of followers doesn't mean I have some sort of power to do anything helpful or important. So basically, because I'm powerful and I have influence and I can reach lots and lots of people, doesn't mean I have power or influence. Okay, I swear. So she said that, and I gave my response. Oh no. Oh, we're getting spoilers. I said, you do have a lot of speaking power that others don't have. You have 1/10 of a million followers. What you say will permeate way more minds than what 99.9% of other people post on here, and you can influence people's opinions and beliefs. And she said, it's more like if people read my opinions, and if it's something they already agreed to, they hit like. And if it's something they disagree with, I get an angry reply. I think and then I said, I think you're forgetting about the large amount of users who are on the fence about discourse and might have their opinions swayed by a poster they like yourself voicing their opinion on something. This is like another thing as well. I think people forget about the huge kind of dark crowd of the internet, who are like lurkers and guerrillas. You know, they're both kind of there. They're both kind of watching. They're kind of chilling, but they often don't really have any strong opinions, and they might be swayed by a well-worded argument that they say. These kind of people aren't going to be swayed by someone being like, if you believe in the other thing, then you're Hitler. But if you say something in a way that's understandable and makes sense and is amicable, maybe you might get somewhere. And you can actually, you know, fucking, you know, affect things like that. She's claiming this vague tweet isn't even about electoral advocacy now. What the fuck? Wait, is she? Wait, is that? I'm sorry, wait, was that what she was doing there? Hold the phone. Hold the phone, Mrs. Tightpants. She's really pushing it. Okay. Some people are interpreting this to mean I can't sway opinion in Twitter discourse. I can do that. It's just not helpful or important the vast majority of the time. Okay. That's not what she said. We'll read through her tweets in a second. There's nothing helpful or important about my opinion on whether the last Finster pick was problematic or not. Well, There can be. That's not true. Why would that be true? See, this is just another case of we saw this with the TheyFab drama, and this is just another case of an issue suddenly becoming obsolete just because of the venue it's in, the venue being the internet. And given that the internet is also the space which we treat as kind of a place of refuge for people who in real life might not be able to escape, having a healthy progressive space which doesn't shit on people who are gender non-conformative like Finn is actually really important. It's actually hugely important. It's actually vital to progressivism, both fucking like fucking general gender causes and I mean, yeah, fucking trans stuff specifically, to permit and to not shit on fucking gender non-conformity. Because in any fucking, like, especially when looking at like early steps of transitioning, a lot of people, they might not even necessarily be ready to identify differently yet, right? They might not even be ready to fucking like take on new pronouns. They might not be ready to take on a new name. That might be scary, and so they want to fucking try out and experiment. And if we live in a society which allows them to dress however they'd like in order to fucking like see what they feel comfortable with, without it immediately like fucking them over and immediately getting them shit on, I think that'd be fucking really good, and that's like a hugely important thing we should try and achieve, right? Here we are. But yeah, she also went on and said, posting correct and good opinions to social media to influence people is cool and nice, but it's not something that should be thought of as powerful or important. The important stuff happens online. Posting is like the absolute bare minimum thing you can be doing to affect change. Okay, so this is her backpedaling on a lot of tweets that she made just an hour beforehand. So we'll read through that right now, and I'm just going to kind of speed through it because I'm sure you folks have seen this already. So I said, I think you're forgetting about the large amount of users who are on the fence about discourse and might have their opinions swayed by a post they like yourself, voicing their opinion on something. She said, I don't think changing anyone's opinion on whatever discourse qualifies as helpful or important. I said, if it's discourse like voting, I think it's a bit ignorant to reject your possible influence there. There's plenty of discourse to be had about actually important subjects. She said, Twitter isn't real life. Important changes do not come from this website. I said that's not true at all. Not only do we have an absolutely huge figures on here who are hugely important to present culture and political discussion of whom you can affect public opinion, but the entire future generation mostly gets their info off of social media. And then Jenny says this is about where people get news. I'm not the news, which is also not true. I linked one about how people get their minds changed as well, but also Jenny does function in a way as a news source on social media. If you have a lot of followers and you are someone who does talk about news, in a way that does kind of make you an honorary news source. Like, if you like it or not, you will, like, in a way, you are kind of just part of someone's whole feed, which is collectively giving them information. There's a lot of responsibility in how you contextualize information and how you relay it and how you deliver it. Which is what she's basically totally thrown out of the window and rejected as unimportant and silly. I get my news from Jenny Tight Pants. Twitter microcelebs filter their news to their followers usually. Well, yeah, no, they do though, right? Like, whenever I see a news story which I think is going to be particularly pertinent or interesting to the demographics that follow me, I'm going to tweet about it. Right? If I think it's going to do well and it's going to be interesting and it's something that's like relevant to them, then I'm going to tweet about it. I find it interesting. I want to be a fucking possible news source for some people in a way. You know, I think that's cool, right? I like that. I think that's a great thing. I don't know why she's so like desperate to kind of relieve herself of this like responsibility. But I think it's a little bit cowardly. She said, people feel that way, but I don't think arguing with anyone on here has changed their minds. This is also just not true. Like, I know that I've had my my like confidence in opinions swayed over arguments where I've been presented with like, you know, facts that go against what I say and that kind of thing. Like I know that there are a lot of Twitter arguments and a lot of internet arguments which do just boil down to shit flinging, but if you try and you make a real effort to be like civil and not a massive cunt, you can have really constructive discussions. It's totally possible, and it can happen all the time. And to reject that, it's just really stupid. I also think people underestimate the power that observing social interaction has. Like the kind of I mean I don't really know how to word this nicely, but just watching someone just dunk on someone else, just fucking like just destroy them, you know, they just fucking wrecked them, you know, they just got them, that person is cooked. That's gonna change your perception of that person, right? If it's like good enough, if you see someone get shit on just hard enough, that will affect things. I think like when we have like think about when the internet decides they hate someone. We've all seen it happen, right? We saw it happen with fucking Harry Styles at one point. And at one point, the internet started hating Harry Styles. We've seen it happen with Dream, who's now got actual fucking real pedo allegations, which seems to be legit, which is obviously a very fair reason to hate him. But even before that, the internet kind of just decided they despised him, and that was that. And then they started to try and fucking ruin his life and make everything awful. We have dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of examples of the internet absolutely tearing shit up. Also, let's think about the other article that we looked at the other week, talking about how Elon Musk, talking about, we had the quote, Elon Musk didn't break Twitter, Twitter broke Elon Musk. Like, you know, there is fucking there's huge power in this, all right? And all it is it's just a venue. It's just a location in which you're talking. It's just a fucking specific place where the soapbox is sat. You know, that's all it boils down to. It doesn't. I think this. I know that there is a degree of devaluation through the fact that it is just a fucking tweet and stuff. But there's such a significant amount of people who don't give a shit about that. They think it's worth treating as a very legitimate means to communicate ideas and try and convince people of things. Here we are. So we went on. I said it's about whether your post will influence how people think. Arguing is one thing, but the combatant usually won't change that. Where the combatant usually won't change their mind on the spot, but onlookers will absolutely will be influenced by seeing how people they respect or admire respond to that argument and what they do. We saw this, for example, with the Keffels debate. Like I had several people, and I saw several people who were like, I like Keffels, I respect or respected Keffels, but seeing how she did here and seeing how she conducted herself was embarrassing, and it sucked, and it was kind of stupid. And therefore they lost trust in Keffels, and they fucking and their opinion shifted. And that's because of the conversation, how the conversation played out. It's very possible. It's very doable, you know? Yeah, like social media as well. The Israel account, the Israel fucking propaganda account. I showed a few tweets of that to my mum, and it's how I got her to start realizing how fucking evil Israel is. Right? Because she's a German progressive lady who can't help but be a little bit cucked to German guilt, right? Which is exactly what like Israel taps into in terms of its fucking propaganda, right? So she was absolutely risk of that. But because of the fact that I could show her things of Israel looking really stupid, right? And also Israel being making fun of Israel being shown to look silly, to become just a goofy spectacle. It's powerful. It's really powerful. I don't think it should be underestimated. It's like the power of laughter, you know? I've talked about this a bit in my in how I advocate for things, but I think the value in making fun of something stupid and just making sure other people are aware this thing is stupid, it's bad, we don't like this thing, it kind of sucks, and then they go, okay, This thing is stupid. It's bad. And that's it. But like, that's huge. And you can do that just with funny little jokes, little fucking little riffs, you know, you just go off, you just fucking throw in a little jab, little funny thing, you know, and you can really change minds with that, you know, you can really influence shit. And I think that the kind of rejection of it is frustrating. But yeah, we kind of just go on between this back and forth, and yeah, it's not a great situation. And then also she had another tweet a little bit later on, which was between a mutual of mine called Finite, who said, I don't know, you're the dumbass who thinks that this isn't real life and no impact on the real and has no impact on the real world, despite having a much larger platform than the vast majority of people on this site. And then she said, it's not. It would be good if my posts were influencing people because my posts are good, but I just don't think they're doing that. I don't need to be absolved of anything. So I guess she's gone back on that. She changed her mind. Influencing? Yeah, she was typing fast as well. This is another thing. When I get into like discourse with someone and I'm kind of dunking on them, you know, I'm going a little crazy, all right? I'm going a little bit sicko mode. And when I see them start posting like that, you know, they start replying really fast. They start making these little typos. They're arguing with every single fucking one of my mutuals somehow. Like they'll hop into your replies and continue the debate. And when that kind of shit happens, when that goes down, I start feeling bad. I don't know. You know, like with the Keffels thing, I was so split on that because on the one hand, I like winning debates. And I think I pretty clearly won that one, right? Like, you know, I've had my variety of debate performances on here. That was a really solid one, right? But the fallout following that, the way she conducted herself, was just kind of concerning and weirdly sad, you know? Like, it's not like I, like, hated her. Like I really quite liked her before the debate we had. Also because we were friendly, at least according to my understanding. But yeah, it was odd, and I don't know, that kind of thing. When that happens, when you can tell you're arguing with someone who's just you can tell they're like upset. I don't know. It depends. I mean, I don't really mind it when it comes to people who I like think are like actually terrible or whatever. I think it's hilarious then. But when it's just someone who's like a lefty poster who's being kind of dumb, it makes me feel bad. You know, I don't want to be responsible for that. You know, I feel, you know, it's just, I don't know. You know, I mean, I hope she's okay. I hope she fucking fixes her opinion on that, because it's really annoying that she's oscillating between that. And it's just ridiculous because there's no fucking, there's no like real way to rationalize this that you can like actually kind of justifiably explain. Like it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, yeah, my tweets will reach hundreds of thousands of people, even millions of people in a month, probably. Definitely, even actually. But little old me, I have nothing going on. I have no influence. I can't do anything, and nothing I say should ever be treated as legitimate, or I should never be held to account for anything I've ever done. I don't know. It's silly. It's very silly. I've been in that stage of arguing with 15 different people at once, and it's a bad place to be, and can't imagine being in that position with 100,000 followers. Yeah, no, I get it. I fucking get it as well. When it's like that, you just gotta step back, you know? Like, I think it's, you gotta step back, just wait it out for a moment, then come back, clear things up, and you'll be fine, you know? But when you get too into it, you know, it's just difficult. It's very difficult to get out of, you know? You kind of get yourself, like, stuck in it. It's not good, but yeah. Anxiety-inducing. what's happened recently? I don't know if the Zan and Keffels fallout happened even by the time I was streaming last week. Isn't that funny? Isn't that silly? So if you didn't know, post the debate with Zan Keffels, with Keffels, where she brought up the old Zan drama where there was a tweet which accused me of supporting his abuser. When I talked about how he should make money off YouTube and shouldn't have to increase the amount of money he gets from ad revenue and the amount of ads that viewers have to watch in order to profit. That was misconstrued as being support for abuse. And him and Keffels kind of talked about it. Yeah. Zan told my boyfriend. Uh-oh. Zan still hasn't tweeted since that stream, by the way. Jerry too, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so Zan went and he jumped to defend Keffels. He gave a basically entirely false retelling of the events that led up to the me and Keffels debate. It was kind of just like fan fiction. I don't really know where he got it. But now, because of Zan deciding that Keffels can't be friends with Seanhead, who made a vague tweet about disliking people talking about pedo shit to her, which could have been, I don't know how to read it. I've spoken to Shu about it. I'm obviously not sure if I should fully take her word on it. But yeah, I don't know. I just like, to me, really just like, the internet, people saying like stupid vague bullshit like that seems common, and I don't know, I wouldn't get like I don't know if I get my knickers in a twist over it like that, but perhaps I don't know. Cherry and Zan are just like straight up bad people. Whoa, look, I don't know if I would say that. I don't know them well enough to say that, but I do think that they can be kind of ignorant at times. Cherry's still mutuals with me, which is interesting, despite being good with both Keffels and Zan, who both disliked me, and also despite Cherry having blocked me quite a while ago over the discourse and then having it unblocked me. So it's kind of odd, but yeah. It was quite obviously supposed to slander her enemies as pedophiles. Okay, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was probably the general attempt. I'm mutuals with Shu's husband. Me too. Don't tell anybody. It's scary. I was just talking to Shu and I just like asked her about her husband's political beliefs and then he like followed me. It's very scary. But yeah, don't worry. I disavow, but I just find it interesting to be mutuals with everyone. Especially seeing as she brought up Hunter Avalone, who'd previously blocked her over being anti-pedophile therapy. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, all right. I mean, look, I'll take your word for it. It wouldn't be the first time that someone in an internet argument has gone, oh, well, you're a pedophile. Eudaimonia followed me for like a week. I'm curious. I'm really curious if it'll last. I'm not sure if I'm the kind of person that he would find annoying. I feel like I am. I feel like I'm that to everyone, no? But yeah. She was once in my mentions a month ago under a skipper post. She deleted the tweet, but I so I wouldn't find it, but it's kind of cool that it happened. Yeah, that's awesome. Base, dude. Yeah. I only partially disavow. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, I'm still mutuals with the scary, evil Shu husband. Yeah, now Zan actively lied about you and stepped on trans discourse as if he had any real dog in that, and Cherry had said some real nasty shit about Naomi, so they were just bad people, lol. Oh yeah, the shit about Naomi was gross. And yeah, Zan actively lying about me was fucked up. Saying that I like sincerely supported abuse was really gross. And that kind of upset me. And also, yeah, his fucking confidence in talking about the discourse just kind of grossed me out, right? Like, it was really weird. It was just really weird. I don't know. I know that I talk about issues with a lot of gusto and a lot of confidence, but I feel like the way that I approached it in the debate was kind of inquisitive and patient for the most part. I was kind of You know, I was ready to hear her out and try and understand. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still pissed off about Keffel's deflecting at one point and then calling me a gaslighting piece of shit when I called her out for it. That pisses me off. Yeah. I'll defend Naomi till the day I die. Yeah, no, Naomi's lovely. I'm very fond of Naomi. I offered the lightest pushback ever and got blocked, Lamau. I think I should have pushed back somewhat harder at that, but even that was enough, Lamau. Yeah, no, he seems to just be blocking everyone. He's kind of being a pussy about it. It's sad. It is sad. Okay. I wanna... I don't know. I'm still tempted. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I'm still tempted to try and find a way to go to try and find a conversation, a way to have a conversation with this one guy, with this one dude. So there's this fella who I've mentioned on the stream before, and it's this he's a neo-Nazi. And he's not a great one. He's not a great one. He's a bit of a shit neo-Nazi. Here we are. Let's take a look at this. The first picture is of him with Louis Theroux. Here we are. This is our charming individual. It's our charming fella. Definitely not a neo-Nazi. We promise. But this guy is a friend of Nick Fuentes, an America First member called Beardson Beardley, right? And I find him interesting because he seems... It's funny because he's so antithetical to the toxic right male image. And he seems like a... Unfortunately, he seems like a quivering pussy. If I'm being frank, okay? If we're getting to the point, all right. This guy, it's not a good situation. All right, it's not great. Not Vosh. Not Vosh. Wait, no way. Fucking really? Is this him? Vosh? Evil Vosh. Scary. No, it's him. Yeah, okay, but so this guy fucking he's a goofy looking individual, and so I was taking a look at his stuff. I was going through his little cozy.tv, which is Nick Fuentes' streaming site, going through his little cozy.tv page, and I was scrolling through his and I found his little merch spot, which is just awful. So we have like a fascinating variety of things here. He's certainly not good, Vosh. Definitely not. Okay, so we have various things. We have like some awful weeb shit. This one's funny. I found this shirt funny because if you take a look at it, if you zoom in real close, which we can't quite do here. I don't think we can open this. Is this guy the hetero gamer? Yes, he is, Logan. That's exactly right. So this is a shirt. If you look really close here, if you try and take a real close look, you can see it says no. Wait, actually, let's see. Can we? Oh my God! Wait, I want to make sure I get it right. But it says at one point it says no globalism, and I find that very funny because it's got fucking Japanese text right next to it. So I don't know what the deal is there. Globalism, when it's kind of cool and aesthetic, then we like global stuff. But otherwise, we only say nationalistic. We wouldn't ever do any. We hate things from other places. And then we have the incredible, beautiful, just like perfect. Like wow, look at this fucking shirt. Look at this shirt. Hetero gamer. So when I saw this, my first I tweeted out, this is what a gay Fed would wear, and I entirely stand by that. I think there is nothing more indicative of being a secret gay person than having to wear any clothes that say hetero on them. Okay, if you're doing that, you are just gay. You're admitting it at that point. You're basically saying I'm gay, but I'm like scared about it, you know? That's like all it boils down to. Yeah, and I just found that kind of funny. I also found it funny. I've tweeted out the video of this guy being interviewed by Louis Theroux, and it's a great video, and I can't show you on stream because of copyright and the BBC being basically the most evil fucking like corporation since the SS. Sorry, no, that's not true. But the BBC is gonna fucking claim everything, so I can't show you. But you can watch the clip here if you'd like. Just bookmark it for now because you want to keep on watching the stream. But there's a clip of this guy. But anyway, this guy streams very regularly on cozy.tv, and it's kind of interesting because he just seems so empty. We need a homo gamer shirt. That as well, that's very tempting. I wanna make merch as well. I wanna make merch, and making fun of a Nazi would be so funny. But yeah, so this guy, very scary neo-Nazi, very intimidating. And when he got
what's up, Chief Trumpster? Hope you're feeling better, big guy.
When he got confronted by Louis Theroux, he told him that the Nazi salutes were all just little accidents, and they weren't actually real. So we can take a look at that quickly, because I find this article kind of funny. This is an article which basically the whole point of it boils down to Louis Theroux being like, man, why didn't I punch that guy? It's kind of awesome. It's so sick. Take a look at this. So Louis Theroux wishes he squared up the Nazi saluting activists who threw him out of the house. And it's pretty funny. So Louis goes up and he talks to him, and they have a chat, and Louis shows him the fucking the Nazi salutes, and he talks to him, and he's like, wow, you had one job. You went to this fucking right-wing convention and you were meant to not look like neo-Nazis, and yet you fucked it up. And he gets very sad and insulted, and obviously you can tell he's not it's not an accident. He tries to play it off as saying that he waved, but obviously he didn't. But it's it's very funny. Louis says, Louis, 51-year-old Louis, old man, he's still going hard though. You watch any new Louis shit? It's fucking crazy. It's fucking awesome. On the Discord at one point we will have a watch along, and I'll show you all some Louis Theroux content. But Louis says, I wonder if I left too quickly. It's his property, and if he says, leave my property, I guess I have to leave. But a small part of me thought I should have said, why don't you make me? He's quite small. He's so fucking awesome. Louis Theroux is the goat. Dude, I cannot explain how much love I have in my heart for Louis Theroux. I think out of all like the journalists I ever want to like meet and have a conversation with at some point, Louis Theroux might be at the top of the list. He's fucking incredible. I absolutely want to become like a nice, not a Louis Theroux ripoff, but a nice inspired by Louis Theroux in all the best ways kind of deal, you know? Because I think he really had some fucking incredible ideas and some really great journalistic principles. And he said, why don't you make me? He's quite small. He should have said that. Yeah, asked if he could have taken him in a fight. He laughed. That's exactly what I'm saying. He was a weedy little guy who spent a long time on his computer. It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking fun. Look at the Chad Louis Theroux next to the fucking like chud cuck neo-Nazi. Look at him. But yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. Okay, oh Jesus. I'm not sure if that's my if that's me, if that's all I've got for in terms of my content right now. But yeah, I want to see if I can find a way to get into contact with Mr. Beardson and talk to him, because he seems like he seems like someone I could bully. To put it in the nicest way possible. Bullying is bad unless you're doing it to a fucking Nazi, all right? If you can get a Nazi who's a little bit weak, right, a little bit meek and a little bit of a pussy, and you get him in a good conversation, you have a full fucking right to go in, you know? He won't accept there's no house to throw you out of. True. No, that's the thing. I think I might have to, I'm considering doing an infiltration. Okay? I'm considering doing an infiltration. I wanna figure this out, right? Because I think it's really interesting, and I wanna break into like these spooky, interesting, fascinating, fucked up, radical right-wing spaces. and I want to see what the fuck's going on. So I might try and like over the next like year or something, try and infiltrate and see if I can get myself in somewhere. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to get into a position where I can like talk to these people and see if I can just expose any kind of like stupidity or weakness, anything that would make them look really stupid and especially kind of embarrassing to their audience of people who are looking for these like kind of values of like strength and masculinity and power and perseverance and that kind of thing, you know? Because that's where the right often falls apart. They can be quite, I guess, I don't want to say feminine, but you know, docile sometimes. Because a lot of thing is half of the right. Sorry, I'm just monologuing today, but I guess it's fine. That's what I'm a streamer for. Half the right, fascists especially, I would say 70% of them, maybe 80% of them, are bottoms in the fascist dynamic, okay? They are receiving. They are getting their little fascy ass blown the fuck out by fucking Nick Fuentes, fucking Trump, Hitler, Mussolini, whoever the fuck, right? And then like the other like remaining minority are the people who want to have the dominance and the power. But I think there's a lot in fascism that kind of speaks to the kind of subservient mind, right? It kind of speaks to this kind of like this docile kind of you find comfort in there being a clear power structure. You know, there's it's kind of it's a crutch. It's a way to legitimize everything. It makes sense, and you like that. I don't know, and it just feels to me, it just feels like bottom shit. You know, like right? I don't know. I feel like there is something to be said there. But yeah, I can get into some neo-Confederate spaces if you want. That could be a start. Look, if you want to do some homework and try and get into a crazy, wacky, conservative, radical space, feel free, and I will gladly report on whatever you find. But yeah. Homosexual gamer, with the gay, that's pretty big brain, McBines. That's pretty big brain. Wait, let me turn on the music. Let's get some music in here. You know, I'm chilling. We're kind of at the down phase. You know, it's kind of, you know. There we are. Is that a little loud? That's good. There we are. Let's leave it at that. Oh god. Okay, Naomi. Okay, I'll read that. Okay. Yes. Yes, Daddy. Please enforce your laws on me. I'm just a submissive, law-abiding citizen. Okay, average conservative. I should have said that quicker. I need to get things out quicker, so you can't just like I can't just have said it. I shouldn't have read that out. I can read that out. Don't clip it. Not real. It didn't happen. Please. God, there must be no shortage of those in Alabama. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to go to all the spooky conservative states and take a look at what the fuck's going on there in terms of radical groups and stuff as well, you know? I just think it's so interesting. It's so fascinating. It's also interesting how crazy people let themselves be if they have, like, social support, you know? Like, the opinions that people will arrive at if they have, like, one or two people telling they're correct about it. The South is currently rising again. But like, and that kind of social reinforcement, the way in states, where you have like these very conservative areas where like a lot of it seems like a decent amount of the culture is also based in being somewhat politicized in terms of like pro-2A stuff and that kind of thing. Like how people aren't gonna like. People are going to be like, first of all, really insane, and second of all, not be able to escape it. And I just find that interesting. I want to see like how it is and how people like work their way out of it if they do and that kind of thing, you know? I don't know, I just find it really fascinating. I also think de-radicalization is so like hugely important that I want to figure out every way in which it's possibly achievable, you know? Like we need to fucking save all these people who just like had their fucking brainwashed by like terrible conservative school and now just kind of don't really have any choice, or like conservative parents, or like fucking, you know, a church that like lies to them about a bunch of shit, you know? Like there's a lot of people who are innocent and were kind of drawn into being awful, you know? So yeah. Just watch. Okay, Agony. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm shaking in my boots. All right. I don't really want the South to rise. But we'll see. Discussion on Southern culture and activism when? I don't know. I mean, look. I might be going to the South in a few months. So maybe after that. You know. We'll see. We'll see. But I would like to. If I can learn more. If I can like give myself like a nice education. You know, maybe read through some things and whatnot, then maybe I'll talk about it. Because I find the South really interesting. Like South America I find really interesting. Not South America, sorry, Southern America. Southern America I find really interesting. Or South fucking North America. But I find it really interesting. Also because it's, to me, it's kind of, being someone who's from Northern England, it feels like the equivalent of that, but in America. Right? Because in Northern England, if you're a Northerner, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be subjected to like classism. Because in England, the North is more poor, it's more agricultural. It's, you know, you have less fancy fucking shit everywhere, and so on. Education is worse and whatnot. And it's basically the equivalent of what the American South is, and reasons why they get shit on and stuff, right? Yeah. Isn't the North more like the Rust Belt? Like, oh, I mean, look, I'm being very generous with my comparisons here. All right, let me have it. There's probably a more specific one that you can go for, but yeah. I'm hopping all over the globe, aren't I? Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm interested. I want to be elsewhere. You know, I want to go places. I want to see shit. I don't know, and I'm kind of bored. You know, everything's just kind of boring. I don't know. Like maybe it's just because I've been here for so long. But I just want to be somewhere where everything's new, where I've like not been actually there. You know? Yeah. Hi, Northern here, and I mean north, not the middle of the country, north. Whoa. I mean that is north. Whoosh.
Wet ass P-word. Light. There's roadblocks. I don't want to see him kissing goblins.
What? But yeah. I don't know. Whoosh. But yeah, dude, I'm fucking pumped. Yeah, man. Streamlabs is telling me I have a 2023 clipped recap. I don't think it's actually clipped. I don't know what they're talking about, but just streaming sets? Fog? Oh no, I have to log in, gross. But yeah, folks, I'm pumped. Probably no stream. Actually, maybe stream next week. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Probably stream next week. What day is it in a week? Oh, it's the 26th. It's Boxing Day. Maybe stream in a week. I'll try. I'll probably go stay with my parents for Christmas, and then for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then I'll probably go home if I can on Christmas or on Boxing Day. We'll see. Yeah. I might. I don't know. Do I wrap up now? Do we? I just moved my Streamlabs to the totally wrong position. But yeah, I don't know what else to get into. I feel I didn't really prepare too much for the stream because I was kind of, you know, a little sleepy today. But yeah, I might skedaddle. Do I skedaddle? Little EP sleepy. I'll go for one more hit and then I'll we'll see. But yeah. Fun discourse today, at least, you know, interesting. I liked having a conversation. I liked ratioing, epic ratio. That's pretty cool. I like doing that. Yeah. But Oh no, they're still arguing in my thingies. Quasi. I'm seeing if there's anything worthwhile in my Twitter mentions. Just lots of arguing. People love to do that. Bake a cake on stream. Thank you, Ulsterman. Is that a first message, Ulsterman? Nice to have you. Welcome. But immediately, Ulsterman, you overestimate my baking abilities and my my oven abilities. I don't think I have an oven that I can bake in. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. And my biggest tweet the other day, which was cool. Nice fucking job, dude. That's a W. Well done. Let's fucking go. I'll give you a little pause for that. Yeah, having the first big tweet is very exciting. So that's a W. Good job, dude. But yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm at my rambly, eepy, sleepy stage now, and I'm not sure if I have too much to get into. Apparently, Hippy Dippy Roundtable is back. That's exciting. That should be fun. That should be interesting. I would like to see that. Okay. All right. You know what? I think it's time. Everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping by. This was just a little comfy, cozy stream. We'll be back in a week. You know, Boxing Day. If you got time, I don't know. But I don't know what the internet availability level is on Boxing Day. You know, it's either gonna go way up or way down. We'll see. But I appreciate you all showing up. You're all absolutely fucking wonderful chatters, and I appreciate you being here. Yeah. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate you. Have a lovely Christmas, right? Yeah, have a lovely Christmas, everybody. Have a happy New Year. I'll let you know when we're closer to it. But yeah, take care, folks. It was nice having you. Appreciate it. Bye bye.